In a world with distinct battle lines and obvious foes, the most deadly opponent isn't the one who yells threats, but rather the one who doesn't even know you. Male Sigmas function much differently. These individuals are dangerous not just because they are violent or aggressive, but also because they react unpredictably and exhibit patterns that are confusing to others. While other individuals respond impulsively, these ones react strategically. A Sigma person works differently. For example, when someone last exacted retribution, they most likely did it swiftly and made a big deal out of it so that everyone would know. There are intentional, covert behaviors that you may not even be aware of until it's too late, especially in the absence of any overt threats or warning indicators. They are outstanding not just because of their ability to deal with adversaries but also because of these same attributes. They are strong allies because of the same characteristics that make them deadly opponents, even though they seldom actively seek out friends or foes. Their treatment of one another differs greatly. Let's look at 7 reasons why having a loyal friend who is a Sigma man might be the best card you have in your hand and why crossing one could be the last mistake someone makes in a game they weren't even aware they were playing. They end games instead of fighting, to start. Regardless matter how much they may want to win, most individuals prioritize collecting points, having the last word, or winning specific fights when it comes to winning debates or conflicts. When he gets crossed, a Sigma thinks differently. It is not about winning a single battle. He is quietly altering the whole playing field while others are preoccupied with winning. Instead of arguing about little issues, he considers the game board as a whole. These guys are very successful. Instead of wasting energy on little triumphs, they take actions that fundamentally alter the situation, ensuring that there will never be another confrontation between foes. Perhaps they find a better way to reduce friction at work or reorganize their social circle. It's quite beneficial to get rid of toxic individuals since they assist you in addressing the underlying causes of issues rather than merely their symptoms. To avoid losing, they just alter the rules of the game rather than engage in dispute. The true test is how they handle conflict, even if someone helps you win a fight or a good person completely avoids future arguments. They just make your motions pointless since, in certain cases, changing the game so drastically that fighting is no longer required is a better way to win. They don't have to beat you. Second, others pick up on your weaknesses before you do, while you're busy trying to seem strong. While some are throwing blows, others are busy making getaways. A Sigma man discreetly lays out your whole behavior pattern, not in a harsh way. They just pick up on details that others overlook, such as your defensive tendencies and how you respond under pressure. The way you respond to pressure as enemies terrifies them since they will be able to detect your weaknesses before you are aware that they are watching. They see your tendency to talk too much when you're nervous, your tendency to make mistakes when you're rushed, and your tendency to say too much. However, they have the same ability as friends, which makes them very important since, despite your best efforts to seem tough, they can tell when you're in pain before you speak. They also point out dangerous people in your life whom you may have missed. It's interesting that they use this information against you, but they won't take advantage of your weaknesses until it counts. As friends, they will discreetly assist you in strengthening these weak areas without causing you to feel bad. They do all of this without revealing their own cards, which is the most fascinating aspect. Third, people get defensive because the quiet of a Sigma guy is more potent than their threats. A Sigma man conceals both his strengths and weaknesses, which makes him difficult to read and even more unpredictable since sometimes the one who knows when your defenses are down is more lethal than the one who really strikes first. While a Sigma male's silence causes others to doubt what they believe to be true, angry words cause individuals to strike back. Unlike other people who attempt to resolve issues by talking, arguing, explaining, and defending themselves, a Sigma guy just remains silent. When they are crossed, these people just stop talking. They don't make any promises or threats. The sudden wall of silence hits more than any angry words could, since you're left wondering what they're thinking, what they're planning, or whether they're planning anything at all as enemies. It is hard to tell where you stand because of the psychological weight of this quiet. It's not the awkward quiet that comes from a lack of words, but the heavy kind of silence that conveys more than words could ever convey. The silence you experience on a daily basis might indicate that they have forgotten about you or are 10 steps ahead of you. This same serene strength becomes consoling when everyone else is making false promises and chatting pointlessly, yet friends are on the opposite end of the spectrum. Most individuals may not sleep at night because of the uncertainty alone. When they display a perfect quiet, they are really paying attention and realizing that their silent support is more powerful than 1,000 words. I have other people's backs. The power is not in the words themselves, but rather in what they can simply, as silence can sometimes allow people's imaginations to conjure up scenarios that are worse than any potential danger. Number 4. They wrote Ancient Warrior's Sunset, which is more than just a quote, it's a way of life for a Sigma male. These men know that patience is often the path to ultimate strength, but most others want for instant results. Their awareness that everything, even true colors and hidden objectives, is exposed with time rather than by inaction is the source of their patience. According to Dr. Robert Greene, a genuine character psychologist, patience is less about waiting and more about how you behave as an adversary while you're waiting. This makes them dangerous since a Sigma man may wait months or even years for the ideal opportunity, whereas most people would rush for immediate retaliation or speedy retribution. Your buddy will quietly provide continuous support until you figure things out at your own time, since you know that haste seldom produces the greatest outcomes. This patience becomes a strength. You won't feel rushed or forced to make hasty adjustments when you're not ready. A Sigma male's patience is about waiting for the right moment to act, not waiting for anything to happen. 5th, they get information in silence. Have you ever encountered the quiet person who somehow knows everything about everyone? They are often Sigmas. It definitely intimidates people. These people stand out for maintaining their calm throughout the process in addition to their patience. There are no dramatic countdowns or violent outbursts, just a persistent presence that lets me know I have a limitless amount of time. A Sigma man just observes others openly divulging knowledge without even realizing they are providing well-known details. This is due to the fact that they are always monitoring and digesting, not because they are chatting or spying. Think about how most individuals deal with information. They probe for specifics, ask direct questions, and exchange secrets like baseball cards. Joe Now, a behavior analyst with the FBI, says a Sigma guy naturally follows the maxim, those who speak least often learn most. The fact that every conversation, encounter, and reaction is captured on tape for potential future use by an adversary makes them particularly unsettling. They watch your routine. The intriguing thing is that this same trait becomes very beneficial when you have friends, because they recognize possibilities you may miss and poisonous individuals in your life before they show their real colors. Without ever having to ask, they are aware of your weak points and triggers. They've most likely known anything for months by the time you discover it. 6th, instead of pursuing punishment, they guarantee consequences. The worrying thing is not that kids learn this stuff, but that you will never know how much they really know since by the time you discover they were paying attention, they had already learned everything they needed to know. The majority of people believe that the goal of retaliation is to exact retribution or to make someone feel as if they have wronged you, but Sigma men know that unexpected incidents may often offer more valuable lessons than any planned ones. Retaliation is very dangerous because these men simply stop being there, offering assistance or supporting others, and wait for the inevitable repercussions of their enemies to materialize. They could just stop hiding your mistakes rather than circulating rumors or trying to hurt you in return. Respected psychologists refer to this mindset as detached observation, the ability to step back and let things happen naturally instead of plotting a counterattack. They are very trustworthy and won't put up with bad behavior or act as if your mistakes are acceptable. Instead, they will support you through the unavoidable fallout from your actions and help you learn from your errors. It's interesting that they don't try to explain or promote these changes. Quit disclosing your secrets and giving help with problems. This isn't done out of malice, but rather because you've proven to be an untrustworthy buddy. 7th, they know when to permanently go. Everyone makes errors, no matter how easy they appear. They just alter their behavior based on your treatment of them without any threats, warnings, or lengthy lectures. Rather than attempting to get revenge, sometimes the best form of vengeance is to stand aside and let someone deal with the unavoidable fallout from their own acts. Learn this lesson from reality. Walking away, the kind where you never look back, is one of the hardest things to do, unless you're a Sigma guy. The issue is that these men are very empathetic, but they also know when to let go. Not because they are heartless, but because they see that certain relationships cannot be saved and that acting as if they can just go causes additional pain. It's not about being cold or unforgiving. Sigma males barely understand the basics of the finality of their departure hurts more than any decent retaliation, yet as friends, this same quality involves complete dedication until a certain point is reached. They will know exactly where you are and won't waste your time with meaningless threats to quit or play games with your friendship since they only stay in relationships they really value. Once certain lines are crossed, there's no turning back. They irritate people because no amount of promises or excuses can make up for the things that enemies have done wrong. It's not that they leave that's unsettling. Since a Sigma leaves because he has already determined that remaining won't benefit him, once they're gone for good, no turning back. If you thought this video was instructive, please subscribe for more articles on the Sigma mentality and other subjects. If you liked it, please let me know in the comments area. I'd love to hear what you think. Thank you for watching, and I hope you keep developing, staying strong, and staying perceptive.